primarily a sculptor, and I work a lot with installation, with site-specific artwork, oftentimes architectural interventions. I also work a lot with found objects, so I live with objects for a long time and figure out how they can become part of my work. This project that I've been working on at McCall, I've built a large platform that acts as a landscape within the architecture and allows people to experience something that feels outdoors and exterior within the interior space of the gallery. Found objects have a history and a legacy. They have connections to the world. People have associations with those found objects already. I try to collect found objects and utilize them as a way to engage with those histories, to make complicated our relationship to objects, and to give people ways to experience things that they've already seen in their daily life in a new way. I was in upstate New York and visited a thrift store that had this plaster bust in it that depicts William Gorgas, who was a medic at the Panama Canal Project. So his goal was to eradicate as many mosquitoes in Panama as possible. I decided to cover it in insect glue that's used for killing invasive species and allowing bugs to stick to it and applying bugs that I found in my studio space. So the surface became complex and rich with that history, but also it obscured part of his facial features. It also took the power of the bust and undermined that history. So that becomes a visible history within the work itself without having to know who William Gorgas was. I think a lot about found objects and how to amplify those histories and how to make them either more visible or more nuanced or more engaging. And so something like a exhaust pipe from an ATV, four-wheeler you would drive through the woods to go hunting, can become a musical instrument if it plays sounds of hunters and of ATV exhaust sounds and cicadas outside, and merge that and connect that with the horn of a trombone, so it references both the idea of a musical instrument but also its original function. My work focuses on thinking about space as a clay almost, that space is created through social interactions where people are negotiating who has power, who has access, who has a voice in space. So I use sculpture and its inherent relationship to space as a way to think about human engagement, mapping, marking, demarcation, and other ways of spatializing the world and creating space that oftentimes reinforces systems of power and how I can undermine or intervene within those.